Understanding Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, a fun and simple guide. Let's get started. Feeling a bit stuck in a mental rut? Like your brain is playing tricks on you that would make a magician jealous? You're not alone. Millions of people are dealing with unwanted thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that are about as welcome as a case of the Mondays on a Friday. But fear not. There's a superhero cape for your mind, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, or CBT for short. Imagine your brain is a supercomputer. It's incredibly powerful, but sometimes it's got more bugs than a tech startup. That's where CBT comes in. It's like hiring a personal trainer for your brain, but instead of lifting weights, you're lifting your mood. CBT helps you identify those pesky negative thoughts, challenge them with the force of a superhero, and build new, healthier thought patterns. It's all about giving your brain a workout without the gym membership fees or the risk of injury, unless you count a bruised ego. CBT is about understanding how your thoughts, feelings, and actions are connected and learning to manage them better. It's not a quick fix, but it is effective. The history of CBT has an interesting history that dates back to the 1960s. It was developed by a psychiatrist named Aaron Beck. Dr. Beck noticed that his patients often had negative thoughts that seemed automatic and irrational. He started to explore how these thoughts affected their emotions and behaviors, and voila, CBT was born. Over the years, CBT has evolved and grown in popularity. It's now used worldwide to treat a variety of mental health issues. There are three main parts to the talk therapy known as CBT, including cognitive restructuring, exposure therapy, and behavioral activation. Don't worry, there won't be a test at the end, so let's dig in. How your brain works. Your brain is an amazing organ. It controls everything we do, from breathing to dreaming, and occasionally coming up with questionable song choices. It's like a supercomputer processing information all day long, but sometimes it's got more glitches than an old mainframe.
Think of your brain as a triangle.
At the top are your thoughts, then your feelings, and at the bottom are your actions. These three things are constantly influencing each other, like a never-ending game of rock, paper, scissors. For example, if you have a negative thought, "I'm going to fail this test," you might feel anxious, butterflies with the jitters, which can lead to avoiding studying. Netflix binge-watching marathon, anyone? Now, picture this. There are little voices in your head that are always chatting away. These are called automatic thoughts. Some of these voices are helpful, like, "Don't forget your umbrella, it's raining cats and dogs." But others can be downright mean, like a personal critic with a serious attitude problem. These negative voices can really mess with your mood and behavior. Let's say you're giving a presentation at work and suddenly, a negative thought pops into your head. "Everyone is going to think I'm an idiot." This thought can trigger feelings of anxiety that would make a squirrel on a treadmill look calm. As a result, you might start to stammer or forget your lines, turning into a human version of autocorrect gone wrong. CBT, your brain's personal trainer. So, how do you silence that inner critic and start thinking more helpfully? That's where CBT comes in. It's like having a personal trainer for your brain, but instead of sweat, you get mental clarity and a boost in confidence. First, you need to identify your inner critic. Listen to those automatic thoughts. Are they helpful or hurtful? If they're more hurtful than helpful, it's time to call them out. Once you know what they are, you can start challenging them. Is there evidence to support this thought? Are there other ways to look at the situation? By questioning your negative thoughts, you can start to see things in a different light, like removing a virtual reality gaming headset and realizing the world isn't as scary as it seems.
For instance, let's revisit the presentation example.
Instead of believing the thought, "Everyone is going to think I'm an idiot," you might challenge it with evidence. Have you given successful presentations in the past? Have you received positive feedback from colleagues? By gathering evidence, you can start to see that your fear might be as exaggerated. Next, it's time to build new thought patterns. Replace those negative voices with helpful ones. Instead of, "I'm going to fail this test," try, "I've studied hard and I can do this." It might feel awkward at first, like wearing a new pair of shoes, but the more you practice, the easier it will become. And remember, it's okay to take a breather. Relaxation techniques, like deep breathing, mindfulness, and meditation can help calm your mind and body. When you're feeling stressed, take a few minutes to focus on your breath and let go of the tension. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain. Self-compassion is also a wonderful way to deal with stress, as it involves treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance. even when you make mistakes or experience difficult emotions. CBT in action. Real life, not just a theory.
CBT isn't just about fancy psychological terms, it's practical.
It's like having a superpower to tame your mind's wild beasts. Let's take anxiety, for example. Imagine you're as scared of public speaking. With CBT, you can learn to identify your anxious thoughts. I'm going to mess up, everyone will laugh at me. Challenge those thoughts with evidence. I've given presentations before and survived. And practice relaxation techniques that are calming. For instance, a person with social anxiety might avoid parties like the plague, fearing they'll turn into a human awkwardness tornado. CBT can help them identify these avoidance behaviors and challenge the belief that they're a social disaster waiting to happen. By gradually exposing themselves to social situations and practicing coping skills, they can transform from a wallflower to confident conversationalist. CBT can be a lifesaver for anyone who wants to upgrade their mental software. Maybe you're struggling with low self-esteem, feeling like a side character in your own life. CBT can help you rewrite the script and become the leading role. Or perhaps you're a decision-making ninja, but your inner debate club is always in session. CBT can help you cut through the noise and make choices with more confidence. So, is CBT right for you? Well, if you're tired of being a passenger in your high-speed chase movie and want to take the driver's seat, then cognitive behavioral therapy might be the perfect co-pilot. But remember, everyone's brain is unique, so it's always a good idea to consult a mental health professional to find the best approach for you. Unhelpful thinking styles. All or nothing thinking. You're either a superhero or a total failure. There's no in between. But life's full of shades of gray. Overgeneralizing. One bad thing happens and suddenly everything's terrible. Mental filter. Focusing only on the bad stuff, like it's the only thing happening. Disqualifying the positive. You're brushing off compliments like they don't count. Give yourself some credit. Jumping to conclusions. Assuming you know what's going on without any evidence. Mind reading. Believing you know what others are thinking. Fortune telling. Predicting the future without facts. Magnification, catastrophizing, and minimization. Blowing things out of proportion or shrinking the good stuff.
Balance is key.
Emotional reasoning. I feel it, so it must be true. Shoulding and musting. Giving yourself a long list of shoulds and musts is exhausting. Time for a gentler approach. Labeling and mislabeling. Putting negative labels on yourself or others. Personalization, thinking everything's your fault. Perfectionism, believing anything less than perfect is a failure. Aim for progress instead of perfection. Comparisons, constantly comparing yourself to others and feeling inadequate. Remember, everyone has their own unique journey. Getting started with CBT. Ready to embark on your CBT adventure? Let's do this. First, find a qualified CBT therapist. They're like the GPS for your mental journey, guiding you through the twists and turns. You can also find helpful resources online, but remember, not all online advice is created equal. Talk to trusted friends and family about what you're going through. Their encouragement can be more powerful than a motivational speaker. Remember, change takes time. It's like training for a marathon. You won't become a pro overnight. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small victories, and don't forget to reward yourself with something you love. What to expect in a CBT session?
Here's a sneak peek.
Assessment. Your therapist will start by getting to know you and understanding your concerns. They'll ask questions about your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Goal setting. Together, you'll set specific goals for what you want to achieve through therapy. Homework. Yes, there's homework. But don't worry, it's not like school homework that sometimes wasn't helpful. It's more like exercise that helps build your CBT muscles. Skill building. Your therapist will teach you various CBT techniques and help you apply them to your specific situation. Review and adjust. Throughout the sessions, you'll review your progress and make any necessary adjustments. The finish line. CBT is like giving your brain a personal growth booster. By understanding how your thoughts, feelings, and actions are connected, you can learn to challenge negative thinking and build resilience that's stronger than steel. So why not give your brain a light workout? With CBT, you can become the hero of your own story.